Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be filming this makeup look from beginning to end, also known as a get ready with me, all while telling you some little facts about me so you can get to know me a little bit better. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and get that out of the way now so you won't miss a future upload, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you won't miss another upload. So to start off, I wanted to do a deep red lip makeup look when I realized that we are still in January and the garnet, which is a beautiful deep red, is the Birthstone for January. So I didn't want to miss an opportunity to do a beautiful garnet makeup look for you guys. So if you were born in the month of January, this makeup look is for you. You all may know that my name is Diana, but what you may not know is my full name. So my full name is Diana Noemi Rosario. So my father was the one who chose the name Diana. Diana is of Greek origin and it means divine. So my middle name is Noemi, and that is Italian for Naomi. It is of French origin, which means lovely and graceful. Obviously Rosario is my father's last name, and that's my full name. So I am of Puerto Rican heritage, meaning both my parents were born in Puerto Rico and their parents are of Puerto Rico also. I don't know if heritage is the right way to say that. I don't know if, I'm of Puerto Rican descent is the proper way, but you know what I'm saying. I am Puerto Rican, 100%. I, in fact, was born in Newark, New Jersey. That is the place where my parents actually met. I'm going to use another concealer just to highlight the top of my cheekbones. Whoops, that got all up in my hair. I am 43 years old at the moment. I am a spring baby, meaning I was born in April. Zodiac sign is a Taurus. I am a Taurian, so shout out to all my fellow Taurians out there. I was born 2 days into the Taurian zodiac, so I'm right there on the cusp of Aries. I'm gonna leave everything I'm using linked in the description bar just in case I forget to mention something. So why did I start my YouTube channel? So I started my YouTube channel in 2016. At the time I did have a full-time job, but I also wanted to force myself to be more open and share some of my creative side. It was kind of like me looking for an outlet. I wanted to come out of my shell more and share like creative things that go on in my mind, projects that I was doing at the time, which was a lot of home redecorations, and obviously I love makeup and beauty stuff and lifestyle, so I worked on that pretty much as an outlet to share things with other people. When I was younger, I was extremely shy, so this was a way of me to forcing myself to pretty much open up and just speak a little bit more and just kind of, practice on that, be more open, be more social, share my creative thinking with others, my creative processes, and there you have it. That's the reason why I started my YouTube channel. So really quick, now that I set my foundation, I'm gonna go ahead and just spray a little bit of setting mist. Obviously with life happening and everything like that, I don't upload as much as I really want to, but this year I am pretty much trying to stay focused and make a commitment to upload at least once a week, and I am really shooting for that. Hopefully you guys will be with me for this journey, and hopefully I will go ahead and succeed in my goals this year. So my eyebrows are done, and if you guys want an in-depth step-by-step tutorial, I will leave a card with a link up to it above. So I'm gonna jump in and start doing my eyeshadow, and for this look I'm just gonna use some neutral tones, and I'm gonna be using this palette by Profusion, and this is called the Mattes. Look how pretty this palette is. I actually got this palette from TJ Maxx. It was in one of their makeup sections, and it was only like $4.99. But I actually wanted to say that I love this palette because the blendability on these shadows is spot on. My height is 5'4". I am 5'4", so I'm pretty average in height for a woman. I am a mom to 5 beautiful kids, specifically 2 adults, 1 teenager, 1 preteen, and a toddler, which was my little miracle baby that I had in 2019. So if you guys didn't know, I have a video on pregnancy after a tubal ligation. So I did have a tubal ligation. That means my tubes were tied so that I won't be able to get pregnant anymore. And years later, I ended up getting a reversal, and we didn't know if it was going to be effective or not. So needless to say, nothing happened for 5 to 6 years, and then surprise, out of the blue, I was pretty much pregnant and so unprepared for it, but she has been such a blessing. So she came at the perfect time, and yeah, I have a whole video on my experience regarding the tubal ligation if you guys are interested in seeing that. Another thing about me is that I have a nose piercing that is still pretty much open. I just don't use it as much as I used to. I don't know if you guys have noticed right here, I have a little piercing. I haven't used it in so many years, but it is still open because sometimes I get curious and I wonder if it closed up or something, and I put a little earring through, and yep, I mean with a little push, you know, but it is still open. So sometimes I wonder if I should just start using it again, just put a little, like a little gold dot or a little diamond. I think it'll look really pretty. I might do that. Let me know if you guys think I should. But yeah, that little thingy that you see in my nose, that is a piercing that I've actually had since I was 14 years old. So at the time that I started this channel, I was actually co-owner of a restaurant. That was my full-time job at the moment. My husband and I opened and ran a restaurant where we live. So that's an interesting little tidbit. We were open and operating for 5 years before we closed down. And we actually shut down around the time that I got pregnant with Allison. I was pretty much about 5 months. And so it kind of worked out the way it did, because just a year later, coronavirus hit, and in the community where we live, it's mostly a military town, so everything got shut down. So we pretty much, you know, we got saved from that fiasco as far as us getting shut down because of the pandemic. So that worked in our favor. So since then, I've been happily at home, raising the baby, taking care of her and doting on her and stuff like that. Now that she's 21 months, I don't know, I just wanted to get back into the work field, but of course the pandemic is ongoing. So I'm gonna focus on making videos my full-time job. But I was the pretty much the manager, the bartender, I was a server, co-owner. I pretty much designed the look and the theme of the restaurant, and my husband was the cook and he ran the kitchen. And it was a family-owned restaurant. Obviously we had our teenage kids at the time working there as servers, and we hired help when we needed it. It was quite an experience, and I'm glad that we did it. I considered ourselves successful that we ran for 5 years, and we did pretty well. So I'm going to skip liquid liner for this look, and I'm just going to curl my lashes, put on mascara. And I think today I'm going to do some magnetic lashes. Favorite food is Italian. I love pastas and I love seafood, so if you mix those two up, I'm sold. One of my favorite restaurants is Olive Garden, and yeah, I love different types of foods, but I think out of everything, Italian food would be my favorite, would be on top of the list. My favorite dish from the Olive Garden is shrimp scampi with the angel hair pasta, and they serve it with like asparagus. It's so good. No, wait, I was supposed to do... I believe in the mighty name of Jesus with all my heart, all my spirit, and all my soul. So I am a Christian. Ding, ding, ding. I attended college for web and graphic design in my 20s, and I really wanted to go for fashion design, but in that community college they didn't offer those courses, so I went for graphic and web design, and I'm so glad I did, because I learned so much, not just about web and graphics, but about business, which is what I really wanted to get into. And then a few years later, I went back to college, a different college, for business administration. And I'm using this Brighten Up powder by Essence, just down here, kind of just brighten that area up. I didn't learn how to properly speak Spanish until I was in my late teens. I actually ended up dating someone, you know, from Puerto Rico, so they knew very little English, so I was kind of forced to kind of have to communicate. So I ended up learning proper Spanish with or through him and his family. So that was interesting. Even though my mother spoke to us mainly in Spanish, we understood, and when I say we, I mean me and my siblings. And we would answer or we would communicate vaguely with simple words in Spanish, but it was mostly English because, again, I was brought up in New Jersey, and obviously the schools we got taught English. So yeah. When I was younger, I used to write a lot of poetry, and that was just like as a way of letting out bottled emotions and thoughts and, you know, where I was confused about at the moment. So that's the way I would express myself. I would say starting at 12 years old, I wrote my first poem, and I was actually really proud of it. I was pretty heartbroken because Emily and I were moving away to a different city. I would say 2 or 2.5 hours away from where we were. And I had to leave all my friends behind, including my best friend. Everything I knew, basically. I was, like I said, 12. I was 12 years old and we were moving away, and I was pretty sad that I was going to lose my friends. And I wrote a poem just randomly, just to kind of get out what I was feeling. And I would say about 12 years old, I felt like emotional pain. The first time I felt heartbroken and just, you know, kind of confused and lost for a little while there. And writing, just writing ended up, you know, being kind of like poetry. Writing was pretty much my outlet, a way of me letting out my bottled emotions, and that carried on with me. That stayed with me all the way through my teens and into my 20s. And even now, sometimes I don't write as much as I used to, but even now, sometimes I still find myself having to write down my feelings and my emotions and my, you know, my confusions whenever life gets a certain way or whenever I start feeling a certain way. And yeah, I don't do it as often though. The last time I wrote something, honest, was for Allison's first birthday, and I have the little, I have the little, kind of like a poem. It's kind of like a poem. I have it on my Instagram. And yeah, for her birthday, I kind of sat there, and it was so bittersweet because, you know, you want them to stay little, and just the thought of them not being, you know, what they were. And it was all a lot of emotions. So yeah. And this is just a pink blush from L'Oreal. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some of the HudaBeauty powder and just kind of carve out my contour just to make it look a little bit sharper. Define the edges here. I'm going to let this sit for like a minute. I don't really let it sit for too long. So while this settles for a minute, I'm going to go ahead and apply my magnetic lashes. These are by the brand ToriBelle. And I'm going to use the anchors that they come with today because I don't want to wear any liquid liner. So I'm going to go ahead and apply these really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and apply some highlighter. This one is from Mercier. This is the Baked Radiance highlight in the shade 01. And this is just a really soft highlight. And I just love it because it's very subtle. It's not too, you know, annoying. My eyes always get red from eyeshadows, so if you see my eyes red, it's because of that. So I have a gratitude book that I've been writing in for the past 3 or 4 years, and I must say that that really does help my anxieties, my worries, and pretty much just a lifestyle in general, being grateful every day for the things that you have and the things that you're working towards, and even things that you want for your future. Always give thanks so that that way the universe knows to bring it forth to you. God loves a grateful heart. I used to do it every single day. Now, because of how busy I am with the baby, I usually do it like once or twice a week. I would recommend that you write in your gratitude every single day and that you speak it, you know, pretty much into existence. You say it out loud. And yeah. So when I was a child, I wanted to become a teacher. I've always had pretty much like a teaching and a nurturing soul. So that just comes naturally to me, and yeah, that was my first memory of what I wanted to become like as a profession when I get older. I was wanted to always become a teacher. Soon after that, I wanted to become a pediatrician just because I fell in love with little babies and I just wanted to help them. That would be my nurturing side. So yeah, I wanted to be a pediatrician for so long. Why I didn't work out with that, I don't know. I became a mom at a young age, so that deterred me, I don't know. So I prefer candy over chocolate. I am a sugar addict. So my whole life up until now, I've lived in 3 different states. I've lived in New Jersey, in Florida, and in Missouri. So this might go without saying, but I get really excited about things that I like, and you can actually tell. Like I get like super giddy and stuff like that. That's maybe everybody, most people. How beautiful is this lipstick? This is Giorgio Armani, the matte, intense matte lipstick in the shade 400. Really quick, I wanted to just share a few pet peeves that I have that are right there in the forefront of my mind because they're that bad. So one of my pet peeves is when someone is looking over my shoulder. That whole breathing down my neck thing, I cannot stand it. I cannot. Another pet peeve of mine is loud people. Like, for why? Like, why do you have to be so loud and nobody's deaf? So it's so unnecessary and I just don't like it. The last pet peeve that I'll share for today is people that think they know it all. Finally, for the last thing I'm going to share, something that I feel about myself is that I feel like I am an artistic soul. I love the arts. Anything artistic and creative, I just love. I am drawn to it. Art museums, I used to frequent those so much when my kids were growing up. We would always go to museums. I would always target the art museums because I want to see art. I want to see just any type of creativity that there is, and that's probably what got me into makeup and fashion and home decor, because all those things are, you know, you need a creative flair for that, and I just hope to continue doing the things that I love. So there you have it, dudes. Like, these are my bangs. Sorry, I'm going to take a little detour here, and I'm going to ask you guys, should I cut my bangs? Should I have bangs? Ah, I just poked my eye. Listen, this is a mess. Let me put it back like it was. Yeah, it's a little hard to style because my bangs are like crazy, and I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more about me. Let me know in the comments below what came as a surprise and what didn't. If you enjoyed the makeup look, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm thinking of making more Get Ready With Me videos talking about other things while doing a makeup look centered around the birthstone color of the month. So if you're on board for that, go ahead and subscribe. So thank you so much for watching. You are all very appreciated, and I hope to see you in my next one.